Welcome to the Sales Process Podcast, the show for business owners and sales pros who are ready to push past limits and take their sales to the next level. Hosted by Shawn Derrick, founder of Legacy Sales Engineering. This podcast is built for high performers who demand more wins, more deals, more profit. We're diving into hard-hitting strategies, real-world tactics, and the latest tech to keep you at the top of your game. Plus interviews with elite sales pros to give you the edge you need. If you're serious about dominating your market, it's time. Sit down. Hold on. Let's go.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Shawn Derrick with the Sales Process Podcast. This episode sponsored by Legacy Sales Engineering. We help you sell great products with great sales process. Make sure you check out their website at legacysaleseng.com. All right, guys. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about the first impression. This is step number one in your sales process, the most important step. You've got to nail this one or everything else doesn't happen. So we're going to dive into this. But first, if you're here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment, pay the price, guys. Free content, no charge here. I'm not running any paid sponsors ads. This is, Legacy Sales Engineering is my business. Put that together for you. Share this, comment on it, tell a friend, tell another business owner. Really, really helps us grow. And our heart is just to add as much value to other businesses as possible so that you can help change your family, change your life, and grow your business. So hit that like and subscribe button for us. And if you're here and you're crushing it at the sales game, if you know somebody who's out there just winning and you think that you or them would be a good candidate to be on the show and be a guest, we'd love to talk and connect with you and have you on as a guest and hear about what you're doing that is just impactful so that some other business owners, other sales professionals can take that for their own use and grow their own business too. So the first impression, guys, this one is really it's so important. Your first impression, it really lasts a lifetime. And there are some people that are going to have a first impression that's positive and do business with you time and time again. And there's going to be other people who have a first impression that's negative and they'll never do business with you simply because you didn't meet their standard before you ever got the opportunity to earn their business. So the there's a couple of things that come into consideration on this. And I want to challenge you to think of a time in your life that you've not done business with somebody simply because of something they did at the very, very beginning of the interaction that just killed it for you. You just said, "Hey, that is a non-negotiable for me, not moving forward with you at this point." What did that look like for you? So in my life, I can think of a time recently. I was at a networking event, and I had a business owner come up to me, and I was standing there talking with a young lady who owned another business or was a employee of another business. And as soon as she walked away, this gentleman says to me, "Hey, I won't remember her name, but I never forget an ass." And it was just a really, really off-putting situation for me. This is the first interaction that I had ever had with this gentleman. And the conversation progressed where he later tried to earn my business. And it was just something for me that was just it just it set a tone for me that I just didn't want to do business with someone with character like that. And so he didn't get my business, and I'm not going to give him an opportunity to earn my business. and in life there's those interactions where sometimes we just blow it with people and we don't ever get the opportunity to build the relationship or build the business with them that they were looking to engage in with us because we crapped the bed, for all lack of intended words. I mean, it's just we just missed the mark. And so in your business, even if you don't have a face-to-face interaction with people, there's still a first impression there that happens that the client will either you'll either wow them and earn their business because you made such a good first impression, or they're going to see some things that are going to really cause them to hesitate and pause on doing business with you. And so, there's lots of different um, things that we can look at and point to in our businesses. And I'm just going to break down a few, but it's really important for you to understand that there's so much more than just the 6 or 7 things I've got on my list today, that you really have to make sure that you're doing everything you can to wow that customer in every interaction, in every engagement. You're putting drops in a bucket, and the sales process is simply you trying to make that customer's bucket run over the top and runneth over and be full so that they can get to the yes. When you fill their bucket, you get the sale. And if you don't fill the bucket, well, the bucket sits there and gets rusty and doesn't do anything because you're not putting in the work and doing what you're supposed to get it to the finish line. So, a couple of things that you can do to make a really good first impression with your clients. Are you ready? All right. So number one is a good logo. This is something that is I feel like a lot of business owners get this right, but sometimes you look at a logo or the lack of a logo, and you just say, "Man, what were they thinking?" And and I think that this one, guys, is important because there's something that when you look at that logo of a business for the first time, you can immediately tell if they're a professional or not. And and even if they are a professional, if you have a mediocre logo or something that looks like clip art out of Windows 97, then you pause and you think or you question the trustworthiness of that business. Because if they're willing, at least for me, if you're willing to compromise something so important, your brand identity, if you're willing to compromise your brand identity, what else are you compromising in your business? And so I think that that's really, really important to hit the mark on. And guys, listen, there's a lot of people out there that'll throw an AI logo up or a Fiverr logo up and roll with it. And every now and then you're going to strike out on that. But more often than not, you're going to need to spend and invest in all of the things on this list, some real investment to get a good quality finished product that you need. And I never ever have understood a business owner that stakes their entire life on Fiverr or on it, something that is so important, and they skimp out on it. It'd be like the equivalent of letting McDonald's cater your wedding. Like, just because you can eat it doesn't mean it's the right quality for the occasion. And so we want to make sure that the things that we're putting in our business are quality so that they stand the test of time, and that they earn the trust of the client to do business with us. So, good logo, number one on that list. Number two is a good business description. And so I see this one missed a lot on social profiles, Google profiles, wherever clients are finding you on your website. But the business description is something that's really simple that a lot of business owners just don't put a lot of time into. And with all of the tools that are available to you today, there's all types of ways to get good copy right now. There's really not a reason to miss this one, but you need a good business description, and it needs to be applicable to your audience wherever they're at. And so important to understand that this is a fluid description. It doesn't stay the same everywhere that your business is. It's going to look different. Your business description on Facebook should look different than your business description on Google My Business. Um, they've got different character count limitations for one, but the clientele is different for two. And so you want to make sure that you're appealing to the client that you're talking to in this. So that's number two. Number three is a good professional website. And when I say professional, I don't necessarily mean that you went out and spent 20 or $30,000 on a website, because it's easy to do these days to do that. And I don't want you to hear that number and think that you have to go do that in order to be a professional, because you absolutely do not. There's lots and lots of options, from the DIY all the way up to a full custom developed website, and everything in between that you can choose for your business. But you really need to be honest with yourself on this one, because the number one mistake that I see business owners make is they try to DIY their website and they're simply not capable of it. If you're capable of it, then phenomenal. Do it. There's lots of really, really good tools out there to be able to build a website on WordPress, or we do a lot of Go High Level websites on Weekend CRM, which is our white label for high level. There's a lot of good options out there for building those sites and getting them to perform. But what I often see is business owners reverting to something like Wix or GoDaddy, or one of the inexpensive builders that just don't have the SEO capabilities or the marketing capabilities that some of these other platforms do. And then they also just don't have good aesthetic appeal. And so you really, if you get done with your website and it looks like you did it yourself, you need to start over and hire somebody else. Um, you know, there's so much that goes into a good website. It's so much more than just making it look pretty. If it's not indexed properly, if the coding's not right, if all the alt tags aren't right, if the meta descriptions aren't there, nobody's going to be able to find it. And so there's a lot of technical work that goes into building out that website so that it's searchable and indexable, and that you're actually going to get traffic to it. There's also some things that need to happen on that website for it to be successful in getting you the conversions when that traffic does come. And so you really need to spend some time investing in knowledge, or outsourcing the skill set to build a website. So learn how to do it, or pay somebody that knows how to do it well, and get a good quality build that's going to convert for you and do well for you. So that's number three. Number four is a good Google profile. And the reason this is number four and not ahead of these other things is because if you don't have a website or a logo to put on your profile, you need all those other things first. But in today's world, a good Google profile with good reviews built up is a very, very vital part to a good sales process and making a good first impression with a client. You've got to invest the time and energy into getting the reviews on your profile, building the profile out, putting the pictures on there, and going through and setting up all of the stuff that needs to be set up on that Google profile to get it performing. I had a business owner recently hired a company, 7 months that their profile was inactive, had no idea, and it stalled their business. They had no idea. So it's really, really important part of your business today to make sure that Google profile is set up and performing well and ranking well, so that people actually can find you and are able to build a good first impression. It says a lot about your business. You got, 20, 30, 40, 200, 300, 400 5-star reviews. Once you get there, you're going to be unstoppable. So it's really monotonous getting started if you haven't done this yet, but take the time to really, really build out a good, robust Google profile. You can incentivize your customers by giving them discounts or gift cards or whatever to leave you reviews. But you need to make sure you're spending some time and energy on this. It's super important, especially if you're in any type of trades industry. I would not skimp on this one. Uh, Number five is social presence. And so you need to make sure that your business is on social media wherever your customers are. And this might look a little bit different for you. It might mean Facebook. At bare minimum, you should be on Facebook and Instagram, bare minimum. Um, but there's also TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or X, excuse me. Nextdoor is huge if you're in the trades industry. One of the companies I own just got voted Nextdoor fave for the lawn care industry that we're in, and it's actually made our phone ring a little bit the last couple of days that we just got it in the mail. So it's been really great. But when you can really get on some of those social media platforms and perform well, it's really gonna to blow your business up. And if you're doing video form content on any of those platforms, YouTube, X, not X, Instagram Reels or TikTok are really where it's at right now in the video space. So make sure you're investing some time and energy into social media. You may need to hire a social media manager for this. We can help you with this if you need it. I always encourage you to do business with someone local, wherever you're listening to this from. But if you don't have somebody local that you know, like, and trust, we're here for you. Give us a call. The number six is online reputation. And so this is separate from Google reviews because there's a little bit more that goes into online reputation when, especially if you're in a smaller municipality and or word of mouth is a little bit more prevalent, excuse me. So we've got a community near us called the Villages. I'm in Florida, just outside of Ocala, and a lot of the trades businesses in our area do business or conduct business in the villages. Well, there's a page, a forum online. I think it's called Talk of the Villages that is super super popular, and everybody knows everything in the villages, and it gets spread on there like wildfire. And so there's if you get bad mouthed on Talk of the Villages, then you're in trouble. And so there's a lot of online reputation management that you need to do in your business. This might be Better Business Bureau, it might be Nextdoor, Angie's List, or wherever people are leaving reviews about you or talking about your business. You need to make sure you're doing some type of monitoring on those things so that you can pick up any negative, respond to the positive, respond to the negative, and stay on top of it and manage that reputation because that if a customer or a prospect stumbles upon those things, it can really hurt your chances before they ever begin. And then the final thing on the list is your location appearance. This doesn't apply to everybody. A lot of you guys don't have customers that come into your location or a location that customers visit. But if you do, it's really, really important to make sure that it's worth visiting. And so, I think I said something in the trailer about time in a roads awareness of, and what that means is as business owners, you pull into your parking lot every day, you run into the office with a task in mind, and you get to work. A lot of times you walk past a piece of garbage in the parking lot or a weed in the flower bed that's been there for months or a sidewalk that needs to be pressure washed, whatever that might be, lawn that's out of needs care. um, but your first impression, if you've got a physical location, can sometimes just be walk-ins, and you might lose business from somebody because they got out of the car and saw the way that your office or your building or your location is kept and decide, hey, I don't want to do business with this person. And at that point, you've already earned their business, or at least got the opportunity to earn their business. They're walking in your door. But there's some people that just won't do business with you. I think about like restaurants. I've gone to restaurants. You hear on one of the local Facebook pages or something about a restaurant that's really good, and so you go to check it out and you get out of the car and you start seeing what the parking lot looks like, and you just have that thought that, man, if this is what the parking lot looks like, what's the inside look like? And so I don't go in. And sometimes that same thing might happen in your business where the prospect shows up and they see the mess that you've been walking past for 6 months, and they say, hey, if he keeps his office like this, I can only imagine how he's going to treat, my business or my house or whatever that product is that you're selling them. So you want to make sure that you're making a good first impression on that business. Make sure you're investing in the time and energy to do the upkeep on your building. Super, super important. So all right, guys. So that's the 7 steps to making a good first impression. Like I said, this is not everything in your sales first impression. There's a lot that can go into this. We could talk for hours on making a good first impression. But dress for success with your business and yourself. Make sure that you're putting your best foot forward before you have the opportunity to open your mouth. So stay tuned for some more episodes. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you get the alerts for all of our new episodes that are dropping. And pay the price, guys. Help us out. Share the podcast. Tell a friend, tell a family member, another business owner that you know. And we hope that it adds some value to you, your business, your career, and your life. See you next time.
This episode of the Sales Process Podcast has been sponsored by Legacy Sales Engineering, helping you sell great products with a great sales process. Visit www.legacysaleseng.com to discover your solution for every step of your business sales process. Subscribe to the Sales Process Podcast wherever your favorite podcast is available to check out. VitchUpProcess.com to reserve your seat. Internet Sales Process Workshop.